Hello and good evening and welcome to Don't Stop the Music. My name's Peggy Sue and I'm your host for the next hour. This evening we are going to be talking to Steve Tilling. He is from the band Circu5, and if you have any questions for him, you can text us 07900 171 453, and we're also on Twitter at Swindon Radio. So without further ado, hello Steve.
Hello, Peggy Sue. Can you hear me?
We can indeed.
Oh, technology. I'm normally jinxed with these sort of things.
Well, in these day and ages, we have to actually talk via Skype.
Exactly. From a bubble. Yeah.
That's it. So how are you, Steve?
How old am I?
No, how are you?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking my age. I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I think I had COVID back in March because I was gigging around that time.
Ooh.
And I'm having all the symptoms of a long COVID at the moment. So it's, my energy levels are a bit low, but I'm not doing too bad. I'm still here and still, writing and doing the music. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. So what first got you into music, Steve?
That's going back a bit now.
See, and I didn't ask how old you were.
My first musical experience was Eurovision Song Contest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ABBA were in it at the time, with Waterloo. That's showing my age now. And they did their spot, and I think I was about 3. I don't remember anyway. I mean, it's a long time ago. But apparently I was jumping up and down on the sofa saying, that's the winner. So I think from that age, I've really been into music. And I wanted to take up a musical instrument when I was a kid. And my first choice was trumpet. And my parents quickly moved me on to guitar. They didn't really want me to take up trumpet. So I started on classical guitar and progressed from there, really. Went on to electric, discovered rock, and the rest is history.
I was going to say you're multi-talented with multiple instruments.
Well, yeah. I dabble. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at them all, but I try my hand at all sorts, really. But I'm no genius at, say, the keyboards. I'm more of a guitarist or a bass player, really. Yeah.
That's what you prefer.
Yeah, that's basically what I grew up learning, and other instruments I've sort of learned more as an adult, so I'm less au fait with them. But I still like to get stuck in, give it a go.
Yeah. Well, why not? Now, why the band name Circu5?
Right. Yeah, well, this could be a long story, but I'll give you the short version. I started writing the first album in about 2014, something like that. And as I was writing the songs, there seemed to be a story coming out of those songs. And they were all sort of linked, and I made this story, this concept to go along with those songs. Basically, this is going to sound very pretentious, but the story is essentially about, and it's fiction, by the way, I will say that. It's about a child raised to be a psychopath in a secret government organisation. And that organisation is called Circu5. There are reasons for that name, but yeah, that's basically where the name come from. It's that conceptual ridiculousness of this secret organisation called Circu5, who are raising state-reared psychopaths to get ahead militarily and economically. So it's all part of that story, but don't let that put you off, because it's all about,
I was going to say, I can see a film plot coming there.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty gory film, I think. It's not your Disney thing. It's quite. Yeah.
So we're going to play one of your songs, and this one's called Skin Machine. Now, I did actually play this a couple of weeks ago. Tell us the story behind this song.
Right. Well, this people probably don't know, but we've released our first album back in 2017. So we're working on our second album now. So the story now is that the main character, this psychopath who was brought up as a psychopath but is now an adult, he has escaped Circu5. He's on the run. But he's been captured by a female psychopath who is holding him captive and sort of brainwashing him. So yeah, that is part of the story where he gets captured by the female psychopath, and she's trying to convince him to be the leader of this group of psychos. That everybody is familiar with, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. Basically.
So we'll play that first song now for our listeners. So this is Skin Machine.
None of the others can give you what you need. I'll make them suffer and make you want me. You are the one. Now prove them wrong. Let's pull the wires from the machinery and start a funeral pyre with our dark alchemy. Jagged tongues of fire will caress and consume them, kneeling to admire our divinity. Holding me close, she said, let to corrode an outmoded device. Reset the code and perfect your disguise. Programmed to oppress with no hope of redemption. Mechanical made of flesh, torn aside will rise. Twisting the rope, she said, break free from your skin machine. Let me be your Magdalene. Go back to your old routines. On with the show. None of the others can give you what you need. I'll make them suffer and make you want me. You are the one. Now prove them wrong. Let's pull the wires from the machinery and start a funeral pyre with our dark alchemy. Time to learn, never turn. Watch them burn. Break free from your skin machine. Let me be your Magdalene. Go back to your old routines. On with the show.
So that was Skin Machine. There's some good guitar riffs in that.
Yeah, that would be, well, I'm playing guitar, but the real great solo in there is a chap by the name of Paul Clark. He's our guitarist, and he's a genius fret player. You know, he's up and down that fretboard like nobody's business. So, yeah.
So tell me about some, the other band members of Circu5.
Well, we've got, it's myself, obviously, and Paul Clark. He is the lead guitarist. He used to play with David Cross from King Crimson. He's on guitar. He lives in Reading. We've got Lee Moulding on drums and vocals. And we have Mark Kilminster on bass. He used to be in a band called Tin Spirits, who were quite a popular band around this area. Had Dave Gregory from XTC on guitar in that band. So yeah, this Circu5 basically started, it's just me back in the early days. And the first album was sort of my project, but I got a bit lonely. I didn't want to do it on my own anymore. So I thought I'm going to make a band. So that's when I called these guys, and yeah, they're great musicians, and you know, it would be half of what it is without them. You know, it's they've really been the icing on the cake for this.
So how have you found it with the current pandemic, with trying to practice and trying to get together? Have you found that?
Yeah, it's put a crimp on it. Yeah, it's yeah, we Skype occasionally and chat on the phone, but yeah, it's knocked everything on the head, really. The one thing it hasn't stopped us doing is writing and recording. I have my own studio here at home,
which I've seen on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do a lot of recording here. Not all of it. Obviously, certain things like drums and the bass. We go to Earthworm Studios, John Bucket's studio in Swindon. That's a great studio, but of course we can't get in there at the moment with the lockdown. So, but we're keeping busy because we've got the second album out later this year. So there's a lot to do. So we can't really sit around and do nothing. So we're staying productive. Yeah.
Good. Have you ever dealt with any music anxiety from the industry, especially at the moment as well? Have you found any of that?
What, anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anxiety as in whether people are going to like the stuff or not. You know, it's quite a niche market we're in. You know, it's not Westlife or anything like that. So yeah, as long as I don't get lynched, I don't mind. You know. But no, not really anxiety with that. You know, we keep our heads above water. It would be nice to get out and gig again. I really miss doing that, and we had a lot of plans this year to do a lot of gigging. And you know, we love doing it, and you know, of course, we're just staring at the telly.
Yeah.
You know, very rock and roll. So, yeah.
So we're going to go into your next song, and this one is "Blame It on Me." What's the story behind this one?
Well, that's from the first album. That is where the main character of the story, Grady, he murders his parents because he finds out they're part of Circu5, and this is where he's incarcerated for his crimes. So yeah, the psychopath is caught and locked up. So.
Oh, okay. So this is "Blame It on Me."
A final plea. I won't change your mind, so blame it on me. Say it's on me. I don't need your sympathy. I'll just take my time, so blame it on me. Say it's on me. Shut me down and walk away. Lock me out another day. Contemplate the path that stretches out before me.
was Blame It On Me by Circu5. You're listening to Don't Stop the Music with myself, Peggy. And if you have a question for our guest, Steve Tilling, you can text us on 07900 171 453, or you can tweet us on @Swindon Radio. When we have got our first question in. So, hello, Chloe. Thank you for messaging in. And Chloe would like to know, is your album a walkthrough story?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does. I mean, it has a definite beginning. It starts with a song about these babies that are brought up in the laboratory, and then progresses on to, go through this psychopath's life and how he finds out the truth and kills his parents because of it, and gets incarcerated and things like that. So yeah, it does follow a definite narrative. However, it's not. It doesn't go as far as, say, War of the Worlds, where you've got narration. I haven't got Richard Burton dead talking over this or anything like that. They are standalone songs, so it's not. It's not theatrical in that sense. It's focused on the music, but there are clues to the story within the booklet in the CD, and of course the lyrics, I think that story is there for people who want to find it, but I don't want to sort of force a laboured concept onto people and think, oh god, I just want to hear a few good tunes, I don't want to wade through this pretentious story, so I haven't laboured it that much. It's still an album that you can dip into and just enjoy for the music.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And you listening to these, I think because I've listened to these out of the concept of the story, and yeah, they are really good songs standalone as well.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Oh, you're welcome.
You can come again. Yeah.
You can slip me that $5 later.
Very honoured.
The next song we're going to play is The Amazing Monstrous Grady. Now, I wondered where the name Grady came from, but you already mentioned that that's actually the name of the person in the story. Well,
I'm going to have to dive into this ridiculous concept again, aren't I? Grady, I got that name because there used to be a circus freak show performer called Grady Stiles in America. This is about, 50, 60 years ago now. And he had, that condition where your extremities are clawed, you don't have hands as such, it's sort of like a clawed shape. So he was called Lobster Boy. And funnily enough, this Grady Stiles character in real life was actually a psychopath as well, because he murdered his daughter's fiancée. So basically, this character on the Circu5 album is called Grady because that's their code name for a failed experiment, which is what this Grady chap is. He is a failed experiment in creating a psychopath. So that is his nickname throughout the album. If that makes any sense.
It does. And we have got another text in. Unfortunately, they didn't actually leave their name, but they have said, will you be looking to do any music videos once COVID is over?
Yeah, well, we did do one for Skin Machine, the first track you played. From the second album. So, yeah, if people want to go onto YouTube and have a look up Circu5 Skin Machine, we did a video there. That was all in lockdown. So it was just me prancing about the house, doing very silly expressions and being filmed doing that. And then we sent it to the chap who made the video, a chap by the name of Von Gray. He's a great artist, and he put the video together, and it uses CGI, and so it hasn't got us performing in our leotards on stage, but we do appear in it. But we've been blended in with the CGI, so to speak.
I'll have to go and watch that.
But yeah, we will be doing more videos. We're going to be doing another single soon called, well, I say soon, as soon as we can, called Scars, and that will be a full band, and we're in talks with some dancers. We want to go to a beach
Ooh.
and do a video on the beach with these professional dancers. So yeah, and I shan't be in my leotard for that, so don't expect me to be appearing in that.
Well, we've had another text message in while I had the phone in my hand.
Okay.
Again, they haven't left a name, and they say, when will Circu5's next album be coming out? And they're loving the show.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh. Feel very honoured. That's great. Well, the plan is, as soon as possible. I mean, these things, people seem to, well, some people who aren't in the know with these things, you know, you think, oh, you just get in a room, you just crank out the songs and that's it, job done. But, you know, these things take time, unfortunately, especially with the lockdown thing. So what we're aiming for is, I mean, I would say realistically September onwards, you know, from September onwards, then you can expect this second album. I'm loath to sort of give it a date because
just
I don't want to let people down, you know what I mean? It's, if I suddenly get, you know, bubonic plague or something and can't do it, then I don't want to disappoint people. So I think, you know, September, around that sort of time is realistic.
Well, let's play the amazing Monstrous Grady for everybody now. So here we are.
Monstrous Grady, stand up, come and see how you made me. You tell me I'm not enough, but I'm the amazing Monstrous Grady. I am so sorry I don't fit with your plans. Sweet sister Morphine has my life in her hands. Container labeled in her bottles and cans. Time slows, walls glow, my mind flows in this sideshow. Roll up, see the Monstrous Grady. Stand up, come and see how you made me. You tell me I'm not enough, but I'm the amazing Monstrous Grady. Float out to sea, I cannot swim to the shore. A broken shell with stretching fingers of gore. When I reform, I'll trap you under my claw. Time slows, walls glow, my mind flows in the sideshow. Roll up, see the Monstrous Grady. Stand up, come and see how you made me. You tell me I'm not enough, but I'm the amazing Monstrous Grady.
Roll up, see the man with claws for hands. Hurry, hurry, step inside, the entrance fee is your right.
So that was the amazing, monstrous Grady. And I've actually got 2 messages now coming. They're coming in thick and fast now, Steve.
Wow, blimey. That's my mum.
I don't know if they are, because one of them is definitely a male, because one of them has actually put their names. It's good when they put their names, yes.
People are too embarrassed normally, yeah.
Well, the first question, I feel this is a hard one. Do you feel songs were better, say, in the 60s, when songs were 2+ minutes and no video, or now, without record label restrictions, but you've got to do the whole entertainer, the song and videos? And that's from Chloe here in Swindon.
Thank you, Chloe. That's a tricky question, isn't it? Yeah, I'll tell you what is different now is that there are so many bands these days doing stuff. You know, in the 60s, it was probably better because there were fewer bands doing it, and there wasn't that much focus on image. It seems to be, you know, the music has got to be good quality, but the focus really is on the image, really, which is a bit of a shame, you know, because it's to the detriment of the musical content sometimes, I think. You know, but that seems to be the way things are going. It's more of a cultural relating to the image type of thing that people go for these days. But you know, with a band like Circu5 now, we do have a great team around us, supporting us. People like Chris Elliott and John Bucket, Lou Young, John Keegan, people like that. But we do have to. They're right. We don't have that record label restrictions. We do have the support, but we've got to do it all ourselves. You know, we've got to, you know, do the music, play the music, write the theme tune. You know. And do the videos and promote as well.
I was going to say, yeah, do everything, the promotions, everything like an agent would do.
I mean, that social media thing could be a full-time job in itself, you know, and it's, you know, but you have to do it because, as I say, you're not going to get the word out otherwise. So, yeah.
That's very true. Which is why we do this show.
Sorry, say again?
That's why we do this show.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that because it can be a lonely old game, you know, so thank you for having us on.
No, you're welcome. And another question we have, this is actually from Ben in Bristol. So hello, Ben. And he says, of all your song releases, which is your favourite? And great show, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Very kind of you, sir. But the favourite song? Blimey. It's tricky. It's normally the last one you write, you know. And, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people really like the amazing Monstrous Grady. That's the one that we finished the gigs with because, you know, it's a bit anthemic. But, I don't know. I think Skin Machine is my favourite at the minute because it's most, you know, one of the most recent ones. I really like a song that we've done recently called Scars for the second album, which you got an acoustic version of that.
I do indeed.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. There's an instrumental that we did on the first album called Transfiguration.
Which is actually the next song.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of that one because I mean, there's no vocals, thankfully. So, yeah, we're just going absolutely nuts on our instruments on that. So, yeah, we got to stretch out a bit.
Nice. Well, we have got just another message come in, and this is from John Payne. Hello, John. How are you? John says Transfiguration is actually one of his favourites.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Apart from the Who tribute band with Johnny Warman, is there any older music that we can purchase? And what's your musical history?
Oh, yeah. I used to my musical history. I've been in a lot of really cheesy bands over the years. I was in a metal band in the from about 88 to 92 called Bardiche. Back when I looked like King Charles II. I had the hair and everything, and cheekbones actually, which I don't have anymore. So yeah, I played in a lot of rock bands, and then of course, as John says, played with Johnny Warman, who, he's a great musician and a frontman. If you playing with Johnny for, I don't know, about 6 years. And also did a gig with a couple of XTC members called Colin Moulding and Terry Chambers. We did a string of shows at the Swindon Arts Centre. I think that was, I may have this wrong, I think it was 2019, the end of 2019, we did a week at the Arts Centre. And yeah, I'm still playing in the musical sense with Terry Chambers in XTC, spelled EXTC. So, I mean, that's all been shut down. We can't do much at the moment, but, you know, the plan is to tour the galaxy with that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm no Justin Bieber. I'm not a superstar or anything, but I've done a bit. You know, I've done bits and pieces over the years. That, you know, I just... anything to do with music, I'm happy to be involved, and I, you know, it's just something you're born to do, isn't it? Really.
Well, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
We've got top show as always. What is Steve's favourite TV show? Bit random, but interested to know. And that's from Martin in Swindon. So hello, Martin.
Hello, Martin. I tell you, Alan Partridge is my favourite. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I've always loved Alan Partridge. At the moment, Lee Moulding, the drummer, has recommended something on Amazon Prime called The Boys, which I recommend to her. You know, it's not for kids, mind you. It's quite adult.
Yeah.
But, it's about, you know, it's a story about psychopathic superheroes, you know, so there's a theme going on there. Yeah, that's quite a favourite at the moment. I shall be binge watching that after this show, actually.
I think my son's watched that, but my son is 22, so he has watched it.
What, The Boys?
Yeah.
I tell you what, it makes your toes curl. Some of it is shocking, you know, but it's a great programme. Very gory, mind you.
Might have to look into that one then.
Yeah.
Well, shall we go into Transfiguration so our listeners can have a listen to it? So that was Transfiguration. Now that one, I can see what you mean, where you had a good fun time with all the instruments.
Yeah. We just went crazy on that, really. I thought, because you've got to do what you like to do, really. And, I mean, my thing with this Circu5 is to make adventurous music, to stretch out beyond sort of the standard rock thing and do something a bit more out there where necessary, not all the time. If the song demands it, I will. Yeah.
Well, we have got just under 6 minutes left, so if any of our listeners have got a final question, they can text in on 07900 171 453, and please do include your name.
Yeah. We can report you to the authorities.
So our last song, before we go into it, and also how can people find out more about you, this one is your new track, Scars, and this is the acoustic version of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the actual song, which is recorded, is a full-blown, rock song. Mm-hmm. The whole band playing, and it's pretty rocking and everything. But I just thought I'd give people a taster, a gentle version to bring you down softly after all the mayhem of the other tracks, and set you up for bed. So an acoustic version of that track. And this track is Scars, as saying it will be, I think, the last song on the forthcoming album. It's where everything reaches its, I hate to use the word, climax. Everything comes to the conclusion in this song, but this is a gentle acoustic version of it. Yeah.
And I have had a listen to this when you sent it over, and I have to say, yeah, it's a very good song. Very good.
How much do I owe you for that, then?
Yeah, you can slip us a $5 later, okay? No, it is a very good song, so I'm actually quite pleased and quite happy to say that it's an exclusive on here.
Oh, brilliant! So actually, before you play it, I've had my daughter text me. She said, "Can I give her a shout out? Can I say hello to Leanne?"
Hello, Leanne.
Yes, daughter. She starts a new job on Monday, so hello, Leanne. Thanks for listening.
Hello, Leanne, and good luck with the new job. So before we do play, because we're going to play the song out as our last song, how can people get hold of you or find out more about Circu5?
Do you like my my number now? Well, yeah, you can go to. We've got a website. Is Circu5. That's spelled CIRCU and the number 5.com. Circu5.com. That's our website. I'll tell you, a good place for people to go, and we have a good old laugh, is on Facebook. There's a group called Circu5 Freaks. So you can join in with we're all freaks, basically, on there, and we're not ashamed. So we welcome all sorts. So whatever your freakishness is, your particular skill or talent in the circus, then come on board. We'd like to see you there. So that's Circu5 Freaks, all one word. And we're on Twitter as Circu5 Band, on Instagram, where you can see my ugly mug, Circu5 on Instagram. So we're all over the internet like a rash, really.
So all they got to do is put it in Google.
Exactly, that's it.
And we have got a final question come in, and they didn't put their name again. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, it's Martin. This is Martin again from Swindon. One more question. What is Steve's biggest achievement to date?
I think it is my two daughters, Georgia and Leanne. No, yeah, they're the only thing I've probably done right in my life. My biggest achievement, musically, I think it was doing that first album. Because I set myself a challenge. I thought, can I do an album all by myself? And did I regret that? Because I nearly lost my marbles, halfway through that, because I was doing it myself. I did involve a few people helping out. But to do that album, although it didn't steam to number one or anything, that was a sense of achievement to do that. It's I thought, blimey, I did it. I've actually done something that I can be proud of, you know. So yeah, I think that album, but hopefully it will just be a succession of things, because, you know, none of us getting any younger. I just want to keep pushing this and, you know, writing music that excites people and excites the band, and you know, setting ourselves new targets, you know.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
I'm rambling. You tell me to shut up.
Well, would you like to introduce your last song before we can then say goodbye to you as well?
Okay then, yeah. Well, as I say, this song is Scars. It's an acoustic version of a full-blown rock song that will be appearing on the second album, which is out later this year. Yeah, so... Oh, yeah, there's another thing. We're crowdfunding for the second album as well. So if you go to our website, circu5.com, if you want to, you know, contribute 50p and a bag of pork scratchings to that, be most grateful. Just helps us, you know, keep things moving and getting it finished. So I hope you enjoy Scars, and thanks ever so much for having us on. And thank you for all your questions as well.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And thank you, Steve, for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
In the harbor, the crane turns. A distant song of sirens drifting through the silence. The sky churns. Gone, but always here. Scars never disappear. Waves break into crystal, window shake and whistle.